Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Shanti, and in today's video I will be giving my breakdown of Inmates and Roommate episode 4 featuring Analisa, Vada, and Mark. Now in the previous episode, it ended with Mark and Analisa having a talk and coming to some kind of mutual agreement. Well, it was more like Mark agreeing to follow the rules. Up until now, he has been giving them a series of problems. He's not listening. He's hard-headed. And, it just was a lot of conflict, but they ended on a good note. They hugged it out, and Mark agreed that he would follow the rules. So now, let's get into episode 4. So in this episode, things are starting off wild already. The first person we see is Joe, a producer, knocking on Analisa and Vada's door. She opens the door and invites him in, and she tells him that Mark is not there. And she told the producers that Mark told her to tell them that he was sick. She said that she did not believe him and she was not about to do this with him. The producer asked where Mark is now, and Analisa says she has no idea. He left talking about he needs to make some money. Analisa said that after Mark's apology, she thought they would be on better terms. Not only did he break the 11 p.m. curfew, he didn't come home at all. She said she feels like he was not sincere about wanting to do better. Next, we see Mark walking up to the house in a fresh Nike fit. I wonder who bought that for him. Anyways, he looks aggravated. He's asking for Joe, the producer. He's complaining to another producer about how this is crazy. Analisa says some weird shit. He doesn't know what she's doing, and he has to go. The other producer is like, whoa, calm the fuck down. No, he didn't say all that, but I'm paraphrasing. I don't know what's happening. All I'm doing is helping what's happening. He basically said, he doesn't know what's happening here. He's just here to cover the story as it unfolds. In other words, he can't help you, Mark. Mark goes on to say, this is a serious matter. It's about his health. He is sick. And, he's doing all these theatrics and stuff, but he's not acting sick. He's got a lot of energy. He's walking around. He's yelling. And not once did he say what was wrong with him. In his little interview, he said that he woke up feeling sick and he told Analisa and she kind of went off on him. So I guess he came home. I guess what happened is he didn't come home that night and he decided to come home the next morning, and he was trying to act like he was sick so that he can deflect the fact that he broke curfew and didn't even come home at all. But Analisa wasn't going for it. You see, Mark has been incarcerated for over 7 years straight, so he is a pro at manipulation. Being manipulative is how they survive in prison. But anyway, Analisa wasn't buying it. She wasn't going for it, and she didn't believe him, and that pissed Mark off. Now he's creating all of this drama. So Analisa, she hears Mark yelling outside, so she goes out there to see what is going on with him. And, all Mark is just saying is, I'm sick, I gotta get to the hospital. Then he jumps into somebody's car and takes off, talking about he needs to get away from that place immediately. He is sick with nothing but a hard head. Like, there is nothing wrong with that man. I swear, he's too much. Several hours have gone by and Mark shows up at the house with a whole different outfit on. He left in a Nike short set and came back in some jeans and an undershirt. Vada opened the door and welcomed him in with open arms, talking about, why are you knocking? You don't have to knock. Vada was complimenting him on his Jordans and everything.
Like to the Jordans, man.
Now, where's Mark getting his money? Or if people are buying him these clothes and shoes, why can't he just live with them? Vada asked him how things went at the hospital, and Mark replied, it was cool. And Vada says, well, that's good because we want you to be healthy. Producers asked Mark if he really went to the hospital, and he said, absolutely. And then they asked him, they said, well, what did they say? What was wrong? And Mark started laughing and stuttering, talking about, I got a confirmation to come back another day.
Did you go to the hospital? I absolutely went to the hospital. What day? I didn't get to know it. I got a confirmation to come back another day.
He was never sick. He caused all that drama and commotion for no reason. Analisa comes into the living room with Vada and Mark, and she sits down and starts to drill Mark about the hospital, asking him some very basic questions like, what was the name of the hospital that you went to? And he couldn't even answer her. He was talking about, don't worry about all that. Why are you asking me? Analisa was like, you don't have to get smart. You don't have to get smart. I just asked you a question. Mark said, I'm not in prison. I don't have to answer to you guys. He actually said that.
I'm not in prison. I don't need an answer to you guys.
I have a question. Why is he still sitting on her house? Why is he in her house sitting on her couch? Why is he still there? I would have been kicked him out. She notices his brand new Jordans and says that he did not leave the house with those. She continues to question Mark about the hospital, and he is continuing to be rude and disrespectful, telling her to stop asking questions and don't worry about it. Vada finally speaks up and says something, but he doesn't say anything to Mark. He speaks up and says something to Analisa, as if she is the one who's in the wrong. Vada said, we don't even want to go there. And Analisa said, if I can't ask questions and he keeps getting smart, he's not going to be able to stay there. Mark opens his dusty mouth to mumble something like, this ain't the crib for me. Y'all didn't clean up. This feels weird. He said there's dog waste under his bed. And Analisa said, okay, let's go see this dog mess that's under your bed. Like she was in disbelief. Vada asked Mark if it was still under there, and he said he doesn't know because he hasn't been there.
The room is a mess.
Well, let's go see it because I want to see the dog that you said was underneath your bed.
Okay, go see it. Is it still under there? I don't know. I ain't been in here.
Vada and Analisa go to look under the bed, and there is definitely some dog crap under Mark's bed.
Ugh. Brother, ugh.
Vada said he'll clean it up. It's not a big deal. When they were talking to producers, Analisa admitted that Mark's room is a mess, and she hopes they don't put that on TV. She apologized to Mark for the mess, and he told her that just goes to show that she didn't put much thought into his room, and that she had ample time to get it prepared for him. Analisa said, okay, you should be thankful for whatever you get. See, and I agree with Analisa. He should be thankful for whatever he gets. But I do agree with Mark. Like, they should have made sure that there was no dog crap under his bed. Like, they should have made sure it was, like, sparkling clean. The floor swept and mopped, things wiped down, new linen, things of that nature. They could have did that for him. Mark told producers that Analisa is crazy and she is doing too much, and he don't have time for that. He's got some nerve because he is Mr. Extra himself. He's always doing too much. From day one, he was doing too much. Analisa is trying to talk to him and get her point across about something, and Mark has the audacity to tell her that she's always talking and she needs to stop talking and just listen for once. Mark is saying all this out loud. Every time she tries to talk to him, he shuts her down and talks over her, and Vada just be allowing it. She lets him know that this is her house and he doesn't have to be there, etc. And they are just going back and forth right now. She's irritated with him, and he is a disrespectful little boy in a man's body. It's like he's acting like a rebellious teenager or something. Vada comes into the room talking about ain't nobody going nowhere, and he looks at Analisa and he says, enough is enough, stop it. Oh, this made me so mad because he should have gave all that energy to Mark. He should have looked at Mark and told Mark enough is enough, and to shut up. But he told his wife enough, and To my surprise, not only does Vada come at his wife with this aggressive energy that he should have had from Mark, but he's putting her in her place, so to speak, right in front of him. You know, he should have shut Mark up first and then had a talk with his wife in private about how he feels about how she's handling the situation with Mark. While Analisa and Vada are arguing, Mark is in their kitchen pouring himself some cereal. Oh my God, he gets on my nerves. And he has it looks like a little smirk on his face. Then he comes into the living room to sit down on the couch with his bowl of cereal. Why didn't you just go sit at the dining room table? I bet Analisa wanted to smack that cereal bowl right out of his hand. Oh, he's got some nerve. There is no way he would be in my house right now. Matter of fact, it would not have even gotten this far because I would have put him out on day one. The disrespect started on day one of his release. Analisa looks at Mark and said, "You probably like all this chaos that you're causing with your devilish behavior." And Mark just laughed at her while eating her cereal and milk. Vada told Analisa to leave the room so that he can have a talk with Mark. Now I'm thinking oh yeah, he's about to lay it down. He's about to put Mark in his place for disrespecting his wife and his household. But no. Vada goes to sit down with Mark, and Mark tells Vada, I'm laughing because I'm in disbelief that this guy has the audacity. But Mark tells Vada that he is not trying to talk right now. And Vada tells him, he says, well, we're not going to talk about what's going on, but we're going to talk about you. And then he proceeds to tell Mark that as far as he's concerned, Mark is doing everything that he's supposed to be doing right now. But all he asks is that when he comes home, he needs for him and Analisa to get along because he wants him in that house.
I know you can do this because I want you here.
I don't know why this man is going so hard for Mark. Let it go. He's low-key pissing me off. I you know what? But I understand that it's a lot of things we're not seeing behind the scenes, I guess. So I'll be fair, but I don't like this. Anyway, Mark is on his phone. He's yawning. He's acting uninterested and aloof. And Vada is acting like his biggest cheerleader, talking about, I know you can do it. And now give me a hug. Vada stands up to go in for the hug. And Mark was like, nah, I'm good. And continued to look at his phone and ignore Vada pretty much. Vada said, well, all right, give me a handshake then. And Mark shook his hand. And he probably only did that to get Vada out of his face. He was so not interested in anything that Vada had to say in that moment. And he made it known. He made it clear. He wasn't even trying to hide the fact that he wasn't interested. Vada told producers that he believes in Mark and all of the arguments and disagreements will somehow help him in the real world. As if Mark didn't just get out of prison. He probably had arguments and disagreements every damn day in there. He knows how to argue and disagree and manipulate. I understand they're trying to help him, but Mark is a grown-ass man, and he's not this sweet, innocent kid that just needs help. That's not Mark. So now Vada is kind of in the middle of this ridiculous beef between Analisa and Mark, and for some reason, he's stuck on Mark. He really wants to make this work, but I don't think there is any hope. I don't know if Vada has any sons or not, but maybe he sees Mark as a son he never had. Mark is a grown man who has just done 7 years hard time in prison, and Vada's treating him like he's a kid in school that needs encouragement. And that pretty much concludes their scene in episode 4. There was no resolution. Analisa is pissed off. Mark just doesn't care. And now Vada is stuck in the middle trying to keep the peace between the two, because he has such a soft spot for Mark for whatever reason. Like I said earlier, I think that Mark might be the son that he's never had, and he's going to do everything he can to save this young man. But I don't think Mark can be saved because Mark does not want the help. He doesn't want to change. He just kind of seems like he's stuck in his ways. But I looked at scenes for the next episode, and they're talking to Mark about getting a job. And I guess you know that was a disaster. It's like with each episode, Mark just keeps getting worse and worse. But what did you guys think about Mark in this episode? What do you think about the continued disrespect? What do you think about the dog poop in his room? Now, he had every right to be annoyed about that. And do you think that Mark can change with the right guidance? Do you think that Analisa and Vada are trying to do all they can to help? Should they throw in a towel? What do you think? Just let me know in the comments below. Please give me a like and subscribe if you want. And until next time, I will chat with y'all later.